Hey there everyone, this is Labyrinth. Welcome back to my playthrough of Etrian Odyssey. Today, we're going to continue exploration of the Labyrinth, specifically of the second floor. First, I'm going to go into the end report because something's been bugging me, and I wanted to make sure it was right. So this won't take too long, like maybe only a minute tops, so let me just get this done real quick. Clearly mismapped. This is there. This is all on the edge of the draw distance, so everything instead of being south 1 is meant to be west 1. So that was an editing mistake and something I didn't realize until I did it in hindsight. So this is what we can see. And if we turn like this, we can see even more, because the game is so nice. So we can see that. And we can see some currents over here. But I didn't want to do that today, so we're going to just kind of back off. And we'll do this later. That was just bugging me, and I need to get that off my chest. So let's go into the forest and begin exploration. Now, this first run here, I'm going to do mostly as a demonstration. We won't actually be in the labyrinth for that long for this one. And those of you who know what's on the second floor during the daytime know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this won't go very well. So, before I go on further about that little spiel, let's just quickly make our way over to the place where we need to be. Go down a floor, it resets the encounter rate, so we're back to nice old blue, and we're on the marshlands of misfortune. Today we're going to learn about all sorts of things, including just how long I can persevere in the labyrinth. But first, I'm going to continue exploration as normal. Now, if you've done the Tanyan quest and stuff, you will have 2 freebie and rarity threads to keep you company, and you should have a lot of money on you, so this if you want to stock up on armor and stuff, now is the time to do it, but I'm going to hold off on it for just that little bit longer. Those of you who may have noticed that there is now a bar in the lower right corner, indicating that there's a distance between me and something that we have not seen yet. And this is why you don't go on the second floor during the day. Meet the large bill. He is a big, giant jerk. He is really hard to do this. He just is not anyone's friend, and we did not come prepared. So watch as this bird totally annihilates me. So we're gonna pull up a line guard. Definitely throw. I'm pretty sure he's weak to either ice or volt, so we'll just throw it. Volt at him because he's a bird. And the fail commences now. Okay, hits Vincent. So that was nice of him. All of the misses, and look how much damage this guy can tank. And then again, we didn't hit all of our attacks, but still, like, look at how well he tanked that. That was barely a quarter of his health. So we can sit here and wail on him, but he's gonna kill Vincent, and he's gonna kill Zara, and he's going to kill whoever he can. Like, I'm not sure if we can actually even defeat this guy type of idea. Oh, even with the front guard, Kira just instantly dies, so we would have had the bodyguarder. Like, we could see that coming in advance. We could cross-slash him and continue trying to kill him with lightning. Hits Amino really hard. And he's down. Right, so that's why you don't come here during the day. So we're just gonna get out right now, because there's no point. Okay, of course, Vincent's dead, so just in this instance where Vincent is dead, we're gonna use an Arandi thread. So I did that purely to demonstrate why you shouldn't go there during the daytime. If you go there during the daytime, you're gonna get wrecked, kind of like how my party just did. I mean, sure, I could have played a little bit better and could have probably avoided deaths, but those guys are unpredictable and they're strong as hell. I told you not to go there during the day, yet I rest till morning, so we're gonna have to waste a little bit and do stuff. So however, we did get this green feather from him, so we're gonna sell that green feather, and we're gonna get something nice for it, some feather armor. Now, if you can somehow withstand that guy's brute force and get this feather off of him, then you are in a better position, because this gives you like 16 armor, and that's like, this is 7, this is 16. That is more than twice as good as this, and nearly everybody in the game can wield this that isn't called a mage. Or, I don't think the ninjas can equip this stuff either. Yeah, they can't. So ninjas, zodiacs, and wildlings can't wear this medium armor. However, this medium armor is really good. However, notice that even with this armor on, Kira dropped like a brick when she got hit by that thing. So, while this is a really good upgrade, and would help for everything else, we should get it. Yeah, we should get it just because it's simply a much better upgrade. Like, that's like 8 defense more. We could use 8 defense more. That's like really good. So we're gonna update the armor on everyone except Vincent, because he's in the back row and he can live without armor. For Vincent, we're going to get some... what? No, we're not getting Lucky Tokers. Let's get some Smart Earrings for Zara over here, so that she does even more damage. Have the money laying around, we may as well do it, and we've already updated on armor, so let's go. Taryn in the comments has reminded me that this, the shopkeeper's name is Eddie. We can learn this during around the 3rd stratum, I want to say, or within a quest involving the shopkeeper and her sister. So, that's how we learn her name, but we haven't gotten there in a long time. Plus, calling her Maxine just kind of drags on to the appeal with me. So, let's go on to we've already visited this place, I think. Yeah, we'll go ahead and accept this. Oh, this is where we get the Pedant's book from. Okay, so we just need to find a Gigapede at night and murder it. Gotcha. Another thing we're going to do real quick is we're going to go ahead and, for our other back row character, we're going to supply him with some Lucky Tokers. There we go. And we're off. Alright, now that we're on the 2nd floor when it's nighttime, we are going to be able to get so much farther it isn't funny. Those birds are ridiculously strong. I think they're classified as either 3rd or 4th floor enemies, but they arrive on this floor early if it's daytime, and actually they can only be seen anywhere when it's daytime. Later on, they won't be as big of a threat, but right now they're like the big threat. Like, Jesus Christ, do not get in front of that thing. I don't care how experienced you are, you come here at night. Otherwise, you can only fight like maybe 1 or 2 of those things before you have to go back. Oh, we have been stopped by Kajra. A samurai. Or shogun, pardon me. First time on the 2nd floor. Though he is alone, his presence is somewhat fearsome. You wonder how best to respond. We are quite experienced, my good sir. We have done this, and I have done this many of the times before. But of course, he's just going to go like this, show-offs, and tell you about the thing anyway. Come swaggering in triumph from the 1st floor. Usually die at this guy's hand. But who, save novices, would make such an error? Veterans like you should have no worries. Well, we're veterans in the sense that we know what the hell we're doing, not that we're reckless fighters. So, Skydra's gonna mock you for nothing. I kinda don't like him, but whatever, he can burn. We'll be fine. Besides, we'll get the opportunity to deal with him later, so we'll not worry about him. He's a kind of a interesting character, in all honesty, but for me, he's just kind of like a big douchebag. Claw Shrimp. Meet the Claw Shrimp. He's one of the first enemies you're going to meet on this floor. We're gonna hit him a few times, but we're trying not to kill him, because he has an item that we want that we can only get if we kill him in a very particular way. That looks about weak enough. We'll have a Kira deal with that, and we're gonna fling some ice at this Claw Shrimp. We're gonna freeze him. And this is going to result in not only doing a lot of damage because it's weak to ice, but it's also going to result in this item called a Red Tail. This is a conditional item. Conditional items can only be gotten when you kill an enemy in a very, very specific way. For hints about how you can get a conditional item, there's an NPC in the Butterfly Bistro named Scavenger Toma, which I will show you at the end of the episode, who will tell you how to get conditionals of some enemies for a small fee. Alright, so let's go ahead and deal with this. I know it's here, so we may as well do it here. This is an event that's going to allow us to find an enemy that we're not supposed to find yet. So we examine this vegetation-covered area, and we have something we can reach towards. So we reach towards it, Kira gets stopped, and sit to Kira's vantage point and see that in fact a monster was hiding inside. Glistening with vicious fluids, the beast had hoped to catch unawares has rushed you out of the blur. Draw your weapons in the fight. Right, so we get a preemptive strike against Spotted Frog, Double Forest Frog. So to kill the Spotted Frog, we're just gonna slam him with all of the attacks and fling ice at him, because why would that not work? And he's on that slither of health, so we can just deal with the rest of this fight normally. Alright. Get an elastic tongue, that's cool. I didn't quite space that well enough in order to get behind the FOE, and then, well. We'll just wait here for a little bit longer. We may run into an extra fight, but essentially I'm just waiting for the FOE to get on the other side. And we're gonna rush down this hallway. Now is not the best time to fight. I'm perfectly honest, but I will rush this fight, so. We're gonna do attack, 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 attack. I'm gonna use the charge attack because we're in kind of a hurry. And let's do this. Now, what's going to happen is FOEs can move in the same turns that you are fighting. So what's going to happen is this FOE will move one space whenever a turn passes by in battle, except for the turn that you run into the battle. So instead of being directly behind us like he should if he was following us as he was originally, he would be a space behind us. But because we killed that thing in one turn, the FOE didn't get a chance to move. Now this is the only instance in the game where a turn will not pass, is if you kill an enemy set in one turn. This can be used in a very, very specific circumstance later on to avoid a fight, but not really worth it here. So let us move on into this little corner and grab some free stuff, because that is my favorite thing to grab in Etrian Odyssey, is free stuff. And here we are going to get a coupon. Coupons are amazing items, which will allow us to save 50% on our purchase of choice. And I do say purchase of choice with that exact wording. Most people will end up holding onto the coupons until the end of the game when there's very expensive items. That's usually what I do. I wouldn't be afraid to give you like 7 or 8 coupons, or 6 or whatever. So if you find something you want and you're just kind of short on the money for it, you can use your coupon and just get rid of the thing. That's what I'm going to do this time around, because I didn't really get the chance to use all my coupons last time, or I didn't use them until it was like they're not worth anymore. So I'm just going to use them whenever I deem it's useful to use one. Alright, there's a dead end over here, has some flowers on it. We're going to check it out just to see if we can't get through from this side. Alright, the platypus. If on the first floor you had not passed that luck check, you would have you've already fought one of these. These guys have some interesting item drops that you need quite a lot of to get some of the useful items available to you at this moment. Fortunately for us, he's kind of sturdy. And he poisoned Domina. Okay, so the platypus can inflict poison that does about 30 damage. This poison hurts and kind of sucks to have. If the Durians try to Status lesson: if the Durians use the blind attack on Amina now, they would replace the poison with the blind. You can only have one status on one person, and statuses will be overridden in favor of other statuses. If I remember correctly, Curse is the most, Petrify is the most prominent, followed by Curse, followed by everything else. So, if you are statused and you get cursed, the curse is going to be the prominent status, the one that won't, and it won't be able to be overwritten except by Petrify. If you're petrified, you can't get statused by anything else anyway, because your character's essentially dead. And those are the only, like, that's the tiering of the statuses. All of them are equal except for Curse and Petrify. And this is something I didn't really share the first time I played Etrian Odyssey, but it's something I've always noticed, is that Curse will override any other status, and that Petrify will override any other status, including Curse. So it's kind of like a tiering system, that certain status elements can't overlap on other ones. However, otherwise, if a status is used and is inflicted, and then another status is inflicted, the new status overrides the old status, except in the instance of Curse and Petrify. Now that I got that right, let's continue on. Alright. This western passage is useful, but not to us right now. We'll come and visit that later. For now, I want to get on the other side of this guy while we have the chance. Follow this guy down here. Now, just like the FOE prior, we can try to get behind this guy, because he's obviously hiding some things over there. So we'll do a little dance. Now, FOEs stand for Formidable something exequens, or whatever. It was covered in the first game. You can call them field-on enemies, or fucking overpowered enemies, or freakishly overpowered enemies, or any form of the acronym will do, as long as you deem it appropriate. Let's just kind of wipe this thing out. I'm not afraid to use TP on Zero, because we're about to approach a type of point in which won't be that relevant. I kind of took a chance with the Lynx, probably could have attacked me. Regardless, we're gonna come by behind this guy and grab this stun blade. Am I actually going to use the stun blade? No. Is it nice to have and know that it's here? Yes. The stun blade is this very, there's lots of these lying around too. So, there's very specific items laying around the Labyrinth chest that have a high chance of inflicting a certain status condition. The Pedant Book has a high chance of inflicting sleep, the stun blade has a high chance of inflicting paralysis. Now, for reference, the percentage chance of you inflicting a status on something determines on A, its resistance, which you can't see, and B, your luck. And I believe all your luck does is override resistance. I don't know exactly how that works. I believe you would have to dig around in the game files to figure out exactly how these game mechanics work. But all I know is that higher luck means higher chance to inflict the status, and that enemies have resistance to that status appropriate to where they are in the game or what kind of enemy they are. So keep that in mind when you're trying to use status inflicting stuff. What this naturally means is that farmers are actually the best classes for trying to inflict the status with because their luck is so damn high. So if your weapon happens to be compatible with farmers, I would use it with them. The stun blade is not, so we can't use it with him. As we go forth, matching wits against dangerous monsters, we see a cloaked figure. Noticing you, the figure comes near you. You can see that is feminine, and what's more, she's smiling. I'll go more over on the details of the words I just said later, but anyways, this is Olympia. Hello, it's nice to meet us. An incongruously cheerful voice comes from the girl who ignores her bewilderment and continues. You need to befriend. Her name's Olympia. I'm active in helping explorers like us. And she hands us a tent, and she points south. That way is the campground. You can use that to rest in your travels. Choice is yours. Investigate the campground Olympia spoke of or continue on your way. So now that she has given us that tent, we now have 4 tents in our party. So I think it's safe to say we can go check out what's down here. So let's go check out this camp room that Olympia was in. As you pass through the door into a small open space inside the forest, it is spacious enough to camp. See traces of countless explorers who have been here. Near the trees further in, you see a lone girl resting against one of the pines. Uninterestingly, there's pine trees in a tropical type area, rainforesty looking labyrinth, but oh well. I'm not going to complain, let's talk to Olympia. We can ask her questions like, who is she? And does she have any advice? Such delicate questions. Anyone in the labyrinth with free advice with no compensation. Not everybody in the world's out to kill us, guys. And have you any advice? Some paths in this forest exist where you at least expect them to. She's going to teach you about shortcuts. So just in case you haven't gotten it by now. Wall or dead end, you can look for the hidden passageways. Traveling back and forth will be much easier. And that's it. I've already asked all of her questions. If you ever want to ask her one of those 2 questions again, you know where she is. And this is a camp point. So what you can do on a camp point is you can rest here. It will heal your HP and TP by 50, and it will pass 3 hours in the game. Now, if you have a farmer, there is a skill on them called Camp Mastery that we have been getting. That will heal additional HP and TP with him, and will revive characters if they are dead. It will cure petrification and revive ya. So that's very neato if you have a farmer. It doesn't really make much of a difference to have a farmer now, but later on, the 200 heal can be really good from farmers. Okay, we ran into this set again, how nice. I'm gonna prop the Indomitable. I don't think the Lynxes can... No, I think with her armor she will be able to survive any hits. We'll just prop the Line Guard to reduce damage. is a good call. Now, the reason I bought these attack increasing items for Zera before we came down here is because I knew she would not be able to one-hit kill these shrimps without these smart earrings. The difference even one tech makes in your magical attacks is significant enough to really warrant you buying those for your Zodiac. Doing more damage for less cost is really useful. Good Triumph and Cry to 3. Apparently these... Oh yeah, of course, I just noticed a few people leveled. So, Form Key to 7. For Amna, we can get Body... Anti-Kill. Oh, we're gonna get Provoke. We're gonna work our way towards a skill called Parry. Sarah is going to get Dark Ether some more. And Vincent's going to get the first level into Slap Awake. And now we will proceed to never touch Slap Awake ever again. Let's continue on. Going around some more bins. You know what? We're gonna encounter the first star door in the game. Star doors are just like moon doors, except there's a star on them instead of a moon. What, do you expect that to be more complicated? As your boots stick slightly in some mud, you take a second look at the path you just tread. On closer inspections, there are certain areas around here that look like a marshy wetland. It doesn't seem too deep, but the mud does put a noticeable damper on your walking speed. You shudder to think how easily any monster chasing you through the muck would catch you. You take careful notes. Okay, so we've gotten our first encounter with an alternate type of floor tile. Mud tiles, and specific to this stratum mostly, will slow down your movement speed by another turn. So it now takes 2 turns to traverse when stepping on mud tiles and then 1. And this can be problematic for several reasons, of course. If an FOE is on your tail, then it just helps them catch up to you faster, makes them harder to avoid. However, if you time correctly, you will get past this place no problem. Even with the FOE there, you can get to the other side. So, after going through that mire, we can come over here and claim a prize, a freebie Irani thread. Now the reason they put this Irani thread here is because it's actually very easy to see yourself as stuck here, and it is very easy to become stuck here. So they gave you this Irani thread as an easy way out. Great Platypus Link set, this is awful. Alright, let's just charge the links down. I'm gonna put them down below up in case they somehow double team Kira. Pull up the charge stack, because why not? Fling some fire at the links, and have everybody else charge the platypus. Let's see how that goes. Their 1.2 times attack bonus from charge tactic does stack with the cross slash, because it did go before that. Make sure you're using high agility characters like setting up things faster, so that's just a simple concept to understand. Poisonous Tail, thank you very much. We need more of those. And I'll get supplies with another free Irani thread to replace the one that I used earlier. Cool. Alright, well, we have to wait here, and the encounter right here is insane! So, we're gonna run into another fight. This one looks nastier than the one we were just in, if I'm honest. We're gonna bodyguard Andrew, because we don't want her getting poisoned, and we do not want her taking damage. We can fling some fire at the platypuses, I have no problem with that. And let's proceed to continue speed killing these guys at the speed of sound. Oh, the FOE just passed right by us. I didn't even notice he was there. Alright. Kill that in just enough turns to just get on this guy's tail. Alright, we've almost the objective of this episode, so this episode's almost over. I want to reach a specific shortcut before we end off today. It's going to be over here. And in addition, it's about to turn daytime, and we know what happens around when daytime arrives on this floor, so we need to hurry up. Alright, so we got this little crevice here. There's a guy. In the previous LP, the previous time I did this, I totally missed this guy. But there's a guy here who will barter items for more items. So if you get certain items, you can get free stuff from him. He's not super interesting in my opinion though. And while you can get some really neat stuff from him, it's typically not, I don't think it's worth the trade because you get enough freebies as is. Alright, that is really what I wanted to get this episode. That shortcut back down here is hella useful. So now for the rest of the time before it becomes 7 AM, we'll just explore this area. Down here is a take point. Not an event here, but there is a shortcut here that we can't access from the side. Neato. And should turn 7 AM. Yep, we need to get out. We could do one big green bird fight in case he showed up, but I'd rather just not chance it. Let's just get out. And with that, that's it for our first visit to the... What was I doing? What was I thinking? Yeah, that's it for our first visit into the second floor. Next time we'll be sure to complete all the rest of it. But for now, let's stop by the bistro and show you a person who I think is valuable for you. Especially for you newbies who are just following along and need some advice to help you get through the labyrinth, is that there is a person in here called Scavenger Toma. Press A, he's going to be curious, or maybe you want one, or something, he's really thirsty, go for a drink about now. And you can give him a small selection of stuff. So you give him stuff, he tells you some things. So you give him some ale, and he shows us this red tail, like one we've already got. It's a rarity that's highly sought after, and it's for its bright coloring. When you put the freeze on a claw shrimp, its tail turns all red. Don't tell anyone else about this, okay? It's our secret. Of course, it's not a secret because I told you how to get that conditional earlier this episode, but I'm just demonstrating that you can figure out conditionals from this guy. This thing from a gigapede called, there's this thing here is a gigapede's jaw. On the market they call it a large jaw. I'm a knife man myself, when I'm looking for a weapon I want one I can slash with. These are easy pickings for me, I just gotta go cut down one of the gigapedes at night, see? Don't tell anyone else about this, okay? It's our secret. So you can get gigapede's large jaws by slashing them apart with swords and daggers. See, so you can tell, so I can't tell you enough how useful this guy is during your first playthrough. So if you still have some remote amount of blind left in your playthrough, use Scavenger Toma. He is a very helpful NPC. Every floor you go on, be sure to stop by the bar and figure out all this stuff. We're also going to take this time to accept all of the quests. We didn't run into a gigapede on our first visit, so that was kind of meh. But we can go ahead and grab this. And she wants us to go to Olympier's farm to learn more about the quest, which we can do. Turns out that I've been out of nectar for a while. Demand is high, but supply is too low to maximize my profits. I can't let this chance slip. That's why I've been gathering small flowers so I can make nectar out of them. I gathered small flowers on the second floor. Come back once you sell it to me. I'll give you a little bonus on top of the standard asking price for the flower. Awesome. While we're here, we can sell Eddie our stuff. Maxine will highly appreciate having a lot of red tails on her shelf. He's gonna give us access to a new item. What new item? Doesn't tell us, but we can try to look out. No, we don't want to. Alright, Palish. Palish is the best rapier we can get, but we don't have access to it because we need 6 more poisonous tails, so we're gonna have to just stockpile more poisonous tails. That's fine. Elastic Tongue is gonna give us a Hackenbouche. Mountain Claw isn't going to give us anything new. Poisonous Tails are going to give us access to Light Muffs, which is kind of a useless armor. Frog Cheeks aren't going to give us anything. Small Shells are going to give us a cool Varine. And the Round Shield, both of which I'm not really interested in. Yeah, I won't be super interested in buying things until I don't know why I do this, but I like skipping to the next tier of stuff. So I'll have armor, and I'm going to make that armor last as long as possible before I get new armor. So that's just how I work. Alright, with that, I think we're done, so... Hey there everyone, this has been LifeRig. As always, I thank you for watching. Next time we are going to finish the other half of the big second floor. I'm going to see you guys then. Goodbye!